We thrive best in Singapore when the region is stable, when other countries are prospering, and we can do business with them, whether financial services with Hong Kong, whether it's trading, manufacturing, whether it's tourism, people visiting one another, and whether it's just the confidence in the whole region so that investors can come and not think that I'm in a dangerous part of the world. And when Hong Kong is troubled, when there are demonstrations or worse, riots, when the chief executive is booed out of the Legislative Council chamber, I think that's very sad for Hong Kong and very bad for the region. And we look on with concern. We hope that Hong Kong will be able to overcome these problems. I don't see any easy way forward, because the demonstrators, they say they have 5 major demands and not one can be compromised. But those are not demands which are meant to be a program to solve Hong Kong's problems. Those are demands which are intended to humiliate and bring down the government. And then what? Well, I think if you press the question, some of them would, if they were candid, would say, well, I don't know, and then what? But anyway, I am not happy, I want this to happen. And that's a most unfortunate state to be in, and we've got to be able to move beyond that and to take steps which will not overcome all of the problems at once, but progressively tackle the issues which are bugging Hong Kongers. And what are they? I think, first of all, it's one country, 2 systems. It's the way it is meant to work. I think there will be those who are not happy with the way it is working. And as one Hong Konger put it very neatly, from China's point of view, they must not only think of one country, but remember this is 2 systems. And from Hong Kong's point of view, you must not only think of 2 systems, but remember that this is one country. And that calls for wisdom and restraint on both sides. Then there's issues of governance, how the Hong Kong chief executive and the LegCo are selected, chosen. They had a proposal for the chief executive to be elected. It was debated in 2014. Unfortunately, there was opposition and it didn't come to pass. So they have not had expansion of the suffrage as was envisioned under the basic law, under the agreement with the British. So that's something else which needs to be dealt with, but there's no simple solution, because to say we want universal suffrage, but Hong Kong is not a country, it's a special administrative region, and it has to live and work within that special administrative region framework, which is the basic law. And I think it can be made to work. It's not easy, but if it's not made to work, then I think it's very difficult to imagine that one country, 2 systems can continue for another 22 years until 2047. So that's the second thing. I think the third thing underlying these unhappinesses, which has not come up very visibly, but is at the bottom of it, and in fact the chief executive was going to deal with it in her annual address, which got disrupted today, and that is social issues, in particular housing. It's very expensive. Young people can't afford it. A flat costs 22 years' worth of income, so it's not practical. And even to rent a space is very expensive. And so people feel, what am I slogging for? Where's the future? Where's the pot of gold? And there are solutions to that, but they are radical, and they require not only a lot of political courage, but you must be prepared to make changes which will have very significant social and economic consequences. And so far, the SAR governments have gone for conservative approaches, and the problem has not really significantly improved. And these are things which I think you can make progress on, but it will take time, and before you can make progress, I think it's necessary for temperatures to come down so that we can get people to work together.